Hello students, I am going to teach Signals and Systems course. In previous classes, we have seen sampling and reconstruction of signal. For reconstruction, we have used zero order hold and first order hold systems and their Fourier transform we have used. In this class, we'll calculate the Fourier transform. We'll calculate those results we have used in sampling and reconstruction. We'll calculate Fourier transform of zero order hold and Fourier transform of first order hold system. Today class we'll see Fourier transform of 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 zero order hold and first order hold. We'll see today Fourier transform of zero order hold and first order hold. These results we have used in sampling and reconstruction. Now we'll calculate the Fourier transform of zero order hold and first order hold. First we'll see zero order hold. We'll see zero order hold. The impulse response of zero order hold we have seen in previous classes. The impulse response of zero order hold that is given as, let this is h0t, then this is the impulse response of zero order hold. That means this h0t, this is 1, this h0t is the impulse response of zero order hold. Then we have to define this h0t. Here it is h0t defined as it is 1 for t between 0 and t and it is 0 otherwise. This is the definition of zero order hold. It is 1 for the interval 0 to capital T, where capital T is its duration or width of this zero order hold and 0 otherwise. Then what will be its Fourier transform? Fourier transform h naught j omega, that is Fourier transform of h naught t will use the definition of Fourier transform, that is minus infinity to infinity h naught t e to the power minus j omega t and dt. This is the definition we have used for finding the Fourier transform of zero order hold. That is the signal here and e to the power minus j omega t dt, and integration is from minus infinity to infinity. This is the definition of Fourier transform. Here it will be, because it is 0 to t, it is 1, and that's why this integration will be 0 to t, because elsewhere it is 0, and this is value is 1 e to the power minus j omega t and this dt. This integration will calculate, this will be e to the power minus j omega t divided by minus j omega and limit will be 0 to t. So this is the Fourier transform of zero order hold. That we can calculate. If we will have the value t, then it will be e to the power, this will be e to the power minus j omega t, e to the power minus j omega t when we will put t, and it is 1 when we will put 0 and divide by minus j omega. This is the Fourier transform of zero order hole. This is the Fourier transform of zero order hole system. This is our S naught j omega. This S naught j omega, and that will be, we can write, minus will take here, then that will be 1 minus e to the power minus j omega, and that t divide, and that is j omega. We can write here, just to give the standard form, that is e to the power minus j omega, and that is t by 2. We can write here as e to the power j omega t by 2 and minus e to the power minus j omega t by 2. Divide that j, and I'll write omega here. Just to give the standard form, because this will be now this minus this is sine. Okay, then this will be e to the power minus j omega t by 2. This is omega, and this is what? 2 sine omega t by 2. That means it is e to the power minus j omega t by 2, and this 2 sine omega t by 2, this value. So this is the Fourier transform of zero order hole. Here the magnitude of this is twice sine omega t by 2 divided by omega, its magnitude value, and phase of, and that is minus omega t by 2. These results we have seen, these results, that magnitude is this and phase is this. So these results we have seen and we have used in previous classes for reconstruction, that is reconstruction of sample signal using zero order hole. So this result we have used there. If you want to plot this response, that is frequency response, if you want to plot this frequency response of zero order hole, then you can see here it will take the form of sinc function, and that's why this frequency response of zero order hole, frequency response of zero order hole, if we will be plotting this magnitude value, then it will have the shape of sinc function. This will be of this form, where this value is 2 pi upon t, and this value will be minus 2 pi upon t. This value is 4 pi upon t, and this value is minus 4 pi upon t, and so on and so on. And what this value will be at omega, that means if you want this standard form, we can write here omega, that is t by 2, and here also t by, okay. From that we can get this value will be equal to t. So this is the frequency response of zero order hold. Frequency response of zero order hold is a sinc function. Now we'll see first order hold. Now we'll see first order hold. We have seen zero order hold. Now we'll see first order hold. First order hold. Impulse response of first order hold. Impulse response of first order hold is shown here. It is a triangular function. This is, let us call h1t, 1 for first order, as we have used h0 for zero order, then here it will use h1. h1 is for first order. Then this first order impulse response is a triangular function. This is minus t, this is t, and this is 1. This is the first order. This is the impulse response of first order hold system. Then we can define this system, this impulse response in time domain. That means h1t, what will be h1t? h1t in two interval minus t to 0 is having positive slope, and 0 to t it is having negative. That is minus t to 0 it is having 1 upon t slope t, and the intercept is 1. So this is the equation for this interval. That means when minus t is between minus t to 0, and for the other interval it is having negative slope. This is a negative slope, and that's why it is minus 1 upon t plus intercept is 1 again, and this is from 0 to capital T. So here we have defined this impulse response of first order hold. Now we can find its Fourier transform. This Fourier transform we have already used in previous classes, but now here we will calculate here how that result is coming out to be. That means this h1 j omega, which is Fourier transform of h1t, this is Fourier transform of h1t, that will calculate here. The definition is, it is minus infinity to infinity, and that h1t e to the power minus j omega t, and that dt. This is the definition we have used. Then this interval will divide in two parts, minus t to 0 and 0 to t. Because impulse response is divided in two different intervals, then it will define for this h1 j omega, and that will be minus t to 0, and that will be 1 upon t plus 1 e to the power minus j omega t dt, and plus interval 0 to t, and here it is minus 1 upon t plus t e to the power minus j omega t dt. So we have used the definition of Fourier transform, and we have written the integral in two parts, one interval minus t to 0 and other from 0 to t. Now we will solve this integral to find this result for first order hold Fourier transform. We will find that what it will be, that h1 j omega, and here it will be, that means we can change this limit by replacing t in this integral, replacing t by minus t, then this replacing t by minus t, then this limit of integral will also change, and that will be from 0 to t, the simple mathematics, and here it will be minus 1 upon t, t plus 1 e to the power j omega t dt, and next integral will be as it is, that is minus 1 upon t, t plus this value is 1 plus 1 e to the power minus j omega t and dt. Here we can write 0 to t minus 1 upon t, t e to the power j omega t dt, and plus 0 to t minus 1 upon t, and that is e to the power minus j omega t dt plus this value, that is 0 to t e to the power j omega t dt, and plus 0 to t e to the power minus j omega t and dt. We'll club these two integral in one, and these two again will club, and what will be getting? This will be minus 1 upon t we can take outside, and this integral will be 0 to t, this will be t e to the power j omega t e to the power minus j omega t, this is plus, and that's why it will be 2t cos omega t dt, and this integral will be 0 to t, and that will be again this and this together will give 2 cos omega t dt. This will be that is summation of two integrals. Let this integral is I1 and let this integral is I2. We can find the result of this I1 and I2 separately. I1 was minus 2 upon t, 0 to t, t cos omega t and dt, and I2 was 2 cos omega t dt 0 to t. We will separately solve I1 and I2 and then we will use the result. First of all, we will see what this I1 is. It is minus 2 upon t, 0 to t, t cos omega t dt. We will use this one. For this, it is multiplied by two types of function, algebraic and trigonometric. Then we will use by parts rule here. By parts rule we will use here, by parts rule of integration we will use here. What that rule is, if two functions are multiplied, then the integral will be u integral of v dx minus integral of this du upon dx and integral v dx, then integral of whole. This is the rule of integration, that is by parts rule. We'll use it here. Then what this I1 will be? This I1 will be minus 2 upon t, and this u as it is, that means t, and then integral of this, and the integral of this is sine omega t divided by omega. This is the integral of this. Then minus integral of differentiation of this, that is 1. Then integral of this, that is sine omega t upon omega. Then and this one will be then integral of whole. This will be the integral of whole. and the limit will be 0 to t. So here we have used by parts rule for the integration. To get the value of I1, this value will be equal to minus 2 upon t sin omega t divided by omega, and what this value will be? This value will be cos omega t, and minus of integration will come here because sin integration is minus cos, and here it will be omega square. And now we'll put the value 0 to t. This will be minus 2 upon t. When we will put t, this is t sin omega t divided by omega plus cos omega t divided by omega square. And when we will put 0, then this will be 0 and this will be 1 upon omega square. This is the integration value of I1. That means it is minus 2 sin omega t divided by omega. Here it is minus 2 upon t cos omega t divided by omega square. This is minus minus plus, and that is 2 upon t 1 upon omega square. This is the value of integration of I1. Now I will get the value of I2. What will be this I2 value? We will calculate this I2 value, and I2 will be 2 cos integration is sin omega t divided by omega, and this 0 to t, and this value will be 2 when we will put t, that is sin omega t upon omega. When we will put 0, this will be 0. This is the value of I2. When we will add I1 and I2, that is when we will add I1 plus I2, then this term and this term will get cancelled. These two terms will get cancelled, and what will have? Minus 2 upon t cos omega t upon omega square plus 2 upon t 1 upon omega square. This will be the result. That means I1 plus I2 was Fourier transform H1 j omega. What this will be? Let take this 2 by t outside, and how what it will be? 1 upon omega square minus cos of omega t okay, upon omega square. This omega square let take outside, 2 upon t omega square, this is 1 minus cos omega t. Then the Fourier transform of this first order whole H1 j omega will be this 2 upon t omega square, and this will be 2 sin square omega t divided by 2. That means it is 4 upon t omega square, and this is sin square omega t 2, or you can write like 1 upon t 2 sin omega t by 2 and divided by omega, or we can write this as t sin omega t by 2 divided by omega t by 2 square. You can see here, because of this square term, this will give smoother filtering as compared to zero order hole. That's why the output of this first order hole will be better as compared to zero order hole. You can see the frequency response. That we can see frequency response. It will be that is, this is 0, and if this was for this was T, if this was for zero order hole, this is 2 pi upon T, this is 4 pi upon T, this is minus 2 pi upon T, this is minus 4 pi upon T. Then if this is the response of the zero order hole, then for first order hole this will be better and smoother as compared to zero order hole, like this. So you can see this is the response for first order hole, which can give smoother result, better result as compared to zero order hole. This is for H1 j omega. In this case, we can see this first order hole frequency response can provide better as compared to zero order hole in case of reconstruction. So today we will stop here. We will continue in the next class. Thank you.